I've been saying 300 billion, but I think it could be much higher. Every 300 billion is 1% of GDP. We got left with a mess in terms of the deficit to GDP, the highest ever when we weren't in a recession, weren't at war. So just with the tariff income, we're going to be in the fives, which is incredible. Like that, that's like running a marathon and starting 5 miles before everybody else.
I had been ready to do this when I felt that I hit the line. And I hit the line when both I didn't think that we were going to be able to present science in a way free of ideology, that the firewall between science and ideology has completely broken down. Addressing stigma intentionally and making sure that we get the word out in a way that supports people's joy as opposed to, calling them risky. So I think, one of the things to think about is that, one person's idea of risk is another person's idea of a great festival or Friday night, for that matter. So we have to sort of embrace that with joy and make sure that folks know how to keep themselves safe.
Asking me to deploy my National Guard, people who are not trained for municipal policing, is just not a serious approach.
But I want to go back to Mayor Bowser again. She said it has been successful. Why would you say, wait, I want you to ask me this way instead of that way? Why fight with the president instead of having that chance, if that is an opportunity that can improve crime?
Well, no, and I have no interest in fighting with the president, but I have an interest in fighting for my communities and fighting for our people.
According to data from the FBI examining each city's murder and property crime rates, Oakland still ranks among as the second most dangerous place in the country. And police retention in the city has been a big problem for Oakland. The department says they are 300 officers short of what they need on the streets. Trump sending in the National Guard for 30 days doesn't seem like it would bring long-lasting change to this situation. What would actually help, since you've already started bringing some things down?
Yes, Robert. Now, those statistics aren't the correct statistics. When you look at the FBI report, Oakland, in the scheme of things, is number 17 or number 18 on its list. And so there's a lot of misinformation and disinformation about Oakland. And what would be helpful, of course, is funding our applications and our requests for more work.
I work in HIV normally, and I'll tell you that, I always say that I've never made an HIV diagnosis in someone that hasn't somehow related to stigma. I think Mpox is the same. So really, stigma tends to be a barrier to testing, a barrier to vaccination. And so, really addressing stigma intentionally and making sure that we get the word out in a way that supports people's joy as opposed to, calling them risky. So I think, one of the things to think about is that, one person's idea of risk is another person's idea of a great festival or Friday night, for that matter. So we have to sort of embrace that with joy and make sure that folks know how to keep themselves safe.